You're listening to the Writer's Block Podcast with L.A. Wade. Who are you? And how did you get here?
Am I? Oh my
Who are
God.
the main characters in your life?
Oh gosh. Where do I start? Well, I can say artistically, my first love was dance. So let's
Yeah.
start there. At the age of 3, I started dancing. I did ballet, jazz, tap, everything. And from there, I then got introduced to musical theater. That's when things changed for me. So I got accepted to an art school for musical theater, and that was my first real introduction to acting. However, I didn't pursue it. And then after that, a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, he was auditioning for a school in New York. And at the time that I graduated high school, I didn't really know where I was going to go, what I was going to do. Because although I danced my entire life and I loved it, I never really thought to myself, oh, I'm going to be part of a company or I'm going to be a dancer, which is really surprising. It wasn't anything that I actually pursued. I just did it because it came easy and I loved it, but I didn't pursue it as a goal of mine.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So when he introduced me to the idea of auditioning for this school, he was auditioning for it. And I studied with him for the audition. And funny, I talk about divine intervention. I studied with him, his monologue, his song, everything. Got to New York, which is where the school was. He auditioned. I was in the front lobby.
Stop this.
Secretary asked me, "Are you auditioning today?" I said, "No, I'm just here to be, support to my friend." And she said, "Well, do you dance?" I said, "Yes." She's like, "Do you sing?" I'm like, "A little bit." She's like, "Well, why aren't you auditioning?" So I
Right.
went into that room with his auditions.
Stop this.
Yeah. And that's how I got accepted to AMDA, the
Oh,
American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York.
that is you were destined for this.
Absolutely.
You were
Absolutely.
you and Chantel Riley had a similar kind of thing where she's like, I'm just here doing auto insurance. Boom, I'm on Broadway. What?
It's insane. It's insane.
But
But
you were
it's,
both very, very talented and
thank
clearly
you.
gifted to do the things that you're doing.
Thank you. Well, we
Yeah,
love it, right? It's our passion.
yes.
So,
But you also talked about what because I've been, just creeping a little bit about Sagine.
just a little
Is
bit.
it, is it Sagine? Sagine?
It's
How do you like?
Sagin. It's French. It
Yeah,
comes from the French word la sagesse, which means wisdom. So Sagin.
wisdom. There's a place. I'm from Grenada, and
Okay.
there's a place in Grenada called La Sagesse.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, because
Look
there
at
was some
that.
Creole going on in Grenada back in the day, but of course the British removed all of that French, and it just kind of went away over time. But
Hmm.
there was very much a Creole presence in Grenada back in the day. People don't
Yes.
maybe know that.
Now they do. Look at
You're
that.
welcome.
So yes, I know for the Anglophones it's a little bit more difficult, and I get it. But yes, it's pronounced Sagin.
Sagine. I
Yes.
love that. It's
Thank you.
beautiful, and so are you.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to ask you a couple of questions. One of the things that is here on the podcast is to understand how we've been unblocked. So,
Yeah.
where have you been blocked, and how did you
Mm.
get unblocked?
Oh my God, so many places, like you said, like you mentioned. I could even think of as a writer. I used to write all the time, and when I say write, I meant like I used to write a lot of poetry, spoken word, and I didn't realize when I stopped, but I had stopped, and I didn't realize it was a blockage until much later, when my father passed away about 11 years ago now, and
Mm,
it's so funny how you don't understand how things hit you and how you're triggered by certain things until
yeah.
you're in a situation. So I had to write something, and for some reason, I had such trouble doing so. And I just, of course, at that time, I started thinking, well, when's the last time I actually wrote something?
Right.
Ellie, I didn't realize I hadn't written since my dad passed.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was the beginning of this huge journey for me because I hadn't even gone to his gravesite. I wasn't able to. And then when I came to that realization, I finally went to the gravesite and for the first time. And the sounds that came out of me, LA, I didn't even realize were,
Mm. It
I,
was
I didn't
lodged
realize I
in
was
there.
holding on to so much. And so that was a release that I definitely needed. And I was patient with myself and I took it easy. I would just do a little bit at a time, even if I just wanted to write, let's say, 2 or 3 sentences. I didn't push it.
Mm-hmm.
And, but slowly and surely, after a little bit, I started to kind of get back into a certain groove.
Yeah.
But that was a major moment for me
Yeah.
that made me realize that there's a lot of certain things. Well, there's a lot of things that are underneath that we need to take the time to undo
Yeah,
and redo.
absolutely. So
Yeah,
much time to, we don't take the time because I don't think we are even familiar with how to do that.
not at
Our
all.
the pacing in our society is like go, 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 go. You have the fear of the FOMO,
Yeah,
and especially as an actor, you have to always be on top of what's next. Who do you have to stay
exactly.
connected? The networking is ridiculous in your world. I'm so glad I'm more so wanting to be behind the
It's
scenes.
still bad for you, though. It's still a
It
lot for you.
can be. It
It's
can
just
be.
not
I'm
captured on
learning.
camera, unless you put yourself there, like today. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it's
this
similar.
part of it is easy because for me, I'm just, we're just talking. We're
Right,
just
right,
talking. And so
right.
that's a little bit easier for me.
Hmm.
Um, but when I was putting together all of my show notes for you,
Hmm.
I did read about the fact that you weren't writing up until this time in your
Yeah,
life. And,
yeah.
I apologize and I resonate with it because my father died around the same time.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
You're,
he
you're
died.
American.
What
Yeah.
year was that? It was about 11, 12 years ago
Mm.
that my father had passed. And now our dear friend Olenike, her father has passed.
I know.
And it's when we lose our parents, it's such a journey of grief,
Yeah,
and depending on how close or how distant you are, it doesn't seem to matter. You still go on this journey
absolutely.
of trying to understand yourself in relation to where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
And for those poor people that don't know where they come from or they don't have that connection, that can become a major block. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that something was lodged and that
Mm-hmm.
when you unblocked it and you did have the flow back of
Mm-hmm.
what it is, what
Hmm.
did you find yourself wanting to write about?
Him, of course. Him, how the journey from then to now,
Yeah.
how I'm feeling, how I'm dealing, how I'm coping, and I find myself even wanting to start writing scripts,
Yeah.
and put it into a show or into a feature film, actually just having it transform into something glorious, right?
Yeah.
That will be used to uplift his story instead of
Hmm.
saddening it even more. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how we keep them alive.
That's how we keep him alive.
We
Yeah.
keep them alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I can't wait till you develop more in that realm of script writing and things like that because you've absorbed so much over time because of all the
Right.
different roles that you've played.
Right.
And let's not even talk about how you have an avenue to display your fashion and your passion. And I think your photo shoots must be so good because you were a dancer.
Oh, for sure. The
Yeah.
understanding of my body. But there was a blockage there too.
Get out.
Oh,
Tell me.
absolutely. I mean, just even this interview, the
What?
fact that I said yes to you was a major step for me.
Come on.
Absolutely. And I know it's hard to believe because this is what I do, but I'm actually very shy. And
Oh.
I tend to step away from these type of opportunities because I'm such a perfectionist. I
It's
want things to look a certain way, to sound a certain way, and when they don't, I'm so hard on myself. Instead of
oh.
facing it and moving towards that, I usually just step back.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why even fashion has taken such a huge role in my life now because
Yeah.
it steps in before I have to. It speaks
Yes.
on my behalf, and then I can kind of find my way through it afterwards. But
Girl, if you don't
it's
want
been a gift.
attention,
I
if
know,
you like I said, what that there's your IG there at the bottom of your name, and go to her website because
but it's been
wow.
pushing me. It's been pushing me to put myself out there, to speak, to use my voice. Blocking.
Yeah.
You talk about blockages. My voice has been a huge blockage.
Wow.
Huge. I don't use it the way that I should because I question it all the time. all
Yeah,
the
we
time.
do. We're an overthinker. And you know that, I
Yeah.
mean, it's good that you've recognized it because you were even a little bit different from the first time I met you. You are a little bit more, I feel your presence more. And yes, there's fashion
Okay,
and everyone,
good.
the fashion is like a, hi, I'm here.
Yes,
But I could see that it helps. I
very
can see
much.
exactly what
Glad
you're
you see
saying,
that.
actually.
I'm making an because I'm like you said, I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of it,
Amazing.
so I'm stepping into it. That's why the whole hashtag step into you, I'm speaking to myself.
So
I am
stop it.
truly speaking to myself, and I'm hoping that it helps others. But we already have it all within us, right? And I'm aware of that. I know that. I know everything is purposeful in my life. I know I'm where I need to be, but I
Yeah.
just need to step out now.
Yes, which brings me. I wrote down a bunch of quotes that I probably found on your site. I usually use other people's quotes, but you have lots of quotes on your
I
site.
love quotes. I love quotes. Yeah.
So this quote was, "I used to be scared to fall, but now I
Mm,
found my wings." And so the
yeah.
question is, what pivotal moment helped you shift your mindset from fear of failure to embracing your potential?
A pivotal moment.
Like, when did you know that, you know what, I'm going to own this thing?
I have to say the whole fashion component. I went on a trip to LA last year, and it was the first time I felt like I truly was walking in my essence. And there was a
Mm.
time, I don't know about you, but I know when I'm in a flow in my life.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I felt as though I lost that.
Oh,
I felt like
wow.
I was in rooms, but I wasn't really part of the rooms. People weren't really seeing the true me, and it was difficult for me to have conversations and just to feel that confidence that I once had.
Yeah.
And I was questioning a lot of things, and it made me very uncomfortable. And that also made me no longer want to be out in those rooms. So I became
Mm.
very introverted. So on that trip, all of that went away. All of that truly, truly went away. And I started to really get creative in different ways and realize that every other avenue that was maybe terrifying me at the time, I could allow myself to step away from those and kind of step into something that I'm comfortable with, that I can do right now, that doesn't take as much effort,
Right.
and that it serves as a starting point for me.
Hmm.
And
Well,
that
just
was the fashion.
I love that. But just
Yeah.
so you know, to give yourself something to think about, to let yourself off the hook,
Hmm.
even in our imperfections, there's perfection. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, there really, really is. And girl,
And
I
I
had to learn
know
that
that.
shit
We
myself.
all know that. We all truly know that, right? But it's just the renewing of the mind.
Yes.
And that, LA, has been the biggest thing for me, is understanding that all of these patterns
Yeah.
that we have established in our lives, having to undo them
Yeah.
and form new
100%.
ones.
Yep, 100%.
That's the journey.
100%. And
Yeah.
you have a lot of skills. Like you're talking about multi-hyphenated creative.
I love a
I
lot of
think
things.
I think on your site, or it
Mhm.
introduces you as this and this and this and this and this and this. And you know what? I like that it says all of that because
Thank you.
that is who you are. You are all
Yeah.
of those things and probably so much more. You just didn't want to be extra, maybe.
Well, that's the thing. And even the ones that are on my website, I hesitated to even include those.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. And
you are all of those
I was
things.
like, no, put them there. Put it there.
Yes, yes.
You'll work up
Because
to it.
you have such a diverse portfolio. So when I
Yeah.
think about this quote, by diversifying your portfolio stretches your reach within the industry,
Yeah.
sharpens your skill sets, and showcases your unique range as an artist. So
Hmm.
how has diversifying your skills opened up new opportunities for you in the industry?
Exactly that. So, like I said, from dance, I got introduced to musical theater. From musical theater, I got introduced to acting. From acting, I got into voice acting. I mean, and then from there, writing, future, producing, directing. I'm just able to fall into so many different departments under this artistic umbrella.
Hmm.
And as I'm moving through this journey, I'm just acquiring so many skill sets.
I
I
love that.
have acquired and I continue to do so. And one thing that I've been so grateful for is during times when maybe I'm not dancing, I'm working on a show. When I'm not working on the
Yes.
show, I get to be blessed with working in the studio for an animation gig.
Yes.
Right? Because I don't do well with routine. So this lifestyle works really well for me too. But I just love that I'm able to dive into so many different things and I get to meet so many different types of people.
Yeah.
That keeps everything so interesting to me and
Yeah.
allows me to continuously grow. So
I feel that for you, and I resonate with it because this I was
you
feeling
too.
real.
You do
Yeah,
everything. You're
listen, I was
amazing.
feeling stagnant myself, and so because film and television stuff, at least I'm not a model, I'm not a fashion person. I would love to be. I live vicariously through you,
Oh, please.
but I know what my strengths are, and I was still feeling stagnated. So I was like,
Mm,
I've done podcasting before, and I recognize that I really enjoy talking to people because it gives me a fresh perspective. There's
right.
a reciprocity in the conversation that allows for creativity to flow instead
Yes,
of get blocked. So I want to
exactly.
remove the blocks by having these conversations.
Right. And
So
you're
it's a little
doing that.
selfish. Whatever, whatever.
It's not selfish at all. It's actually very smart.
Selfful. It's selfful.
Yes, I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's not
Self-full.
mine, Jan Van Zandt, but
I like that.
she talks about being selfful.
Self-full.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what were some of the challenges though in relation to getting the reward after the challenge of
Right.
making the shift from stage to film and television? Because they're two different worlds.
They really were. And I thought it would be a lot easier. I didn't know anyone in film and television. Olenika
What?
is actually one of the first actors that I met, and she was so generous and gracious. And I'm
She really
so
is.
thankful that she's been the same from then until now. She
Hmm.
is amazing.
Yes.
And but yeah, I didn't know anybody, and I thought I'd be able to have a smooth transition, but I had to learn everything all over again.
Oh
I
wow.
started off in commercial work. Taking one thing about me though, I'm a sponge and I'm always willing to invest in myself. I
Yes.
will I will go all the way to Nigeria to take a workshop if I have to.
That's
I am not
amazing.
afraid of that. I'm not afraid to say that I'm forever a student. So I took a lot of workshops. Anytime a casting director would give me any sort of feedback, I take it to heart. I go take the classes that they would suggest. And another divine intervention moment when I came to Toronto, I actually I was working in HR of all places.
Oh,
And then I know, and I was miserable. So I left because I couldn't audition, but I was still part of the casting workbook
ah.
database, and someone had found me on there and asked me if I had an agent afterwards, and I said
Oh.
no, and she asked me to come in for an interview, and I said okay, well, why not? I have nothing to lose. So I went to meet with her, and we spoke for maybe a half an hour to an hour. She was fantastic, and she said, listen, just give me 6 months. If you're not happy, you're free to go. You don't have to sign a contract, but if you
That's
are happy, then yeah, then we stick together and we climb this ladder. And that's exactly what we did.
amazing.
So she was also really helpful and suggested a lot of different classes for me to take, workshops as well. And I really just worked myself up that ladder. I
Wow.
started in commercial work, then from there I went into TV, and then from there I went into movies.
Wow.
So,
How do
yeah.
you know when it's time to remove the block of a bad agent?
Oh man, that one was hard because you know what? One thing I realized, LA, they're not always bad.
Right. They're
When
just
I
not for
switched
you.
agencies, she was fantastic. She wasn't bad. I was just looking for someone at the time that had a little larger reach.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
However, I would think once you feel like you're hitting a wall constantly, and you know that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be
Yes.
doing the work, and it's still not going anywhere, then sometimes that's my indication that a change needs to occur.
Hmm. I
And
like that.
sometimes either you change agencies or maybe sometimes even you need to move. It's a change of location, right?
Hmm. That's
You
true.
also have to know how to pivot and where to pivot.
Right. And
Right?
it's okay to have trial and error.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
we'll stop ourselves for what you were talking about earlier. We want it to be perfect. We want it to make
Yes.
sense. We want to know all of the things so that we can show up.
That's me. That is me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're here to get unblocked. We're not staying there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's change it up a little bit and
Okay.
do this little game called Would You Rather?
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. So would you rather star in a Broadway musical or a blockbuster film?
Oh my God. Oh, that's hard.
I know. It's the point.
Ooh,
I
that's really hard.
I know.
Can we
You
come
know
back to
what?
that one? Give me
You know
another
what?
one.
You'll do both because you'll probably do more Broadway stuff when you're older and you're tired of.
Yeah. Or I
Yeah.
would do Broadway for a good 6 months if it's a great show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. We'll
definitely.
go with that answer.
Yeah.
Would you rather mentor a group of young dancers or a group of young actors?
Oh, wow. I'll say young dancers because that's where it started for me.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
see that one coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For young
Okay.
dancers. Yeah.
I'll just use this moment to plug that she does work with actors that you can find it on her website.
Yes, I do.
Would you rather spend a day writing or a day performing?
Ooh, they performing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
you, not for me. I'd rather
Not
write.
for you. Yours right. Definitely. Yeah.
Would you rather teach a dance class or leading acting workshop?
Oh, leave an acting workshop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You really caught between this world, these were two
I
worlds.
really am. I'm telling you.
Okay, let's flip it up. Would you
Okay.
rather wear a designer outfit for a red carpet event or create your own unique style for the event?
Oh, create
Of
my own
course.
masterpiece. And yes, for sure. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Would you rather be stuck in a never-ending musical where everyone sings their lines or in a silent film where all communications is through exaggerated gesture?
Oh gosh, the first musical all day. Musical. Yes.
Would you rather have your wardrobe for a month be entirely 1980s fashion or futuristic metallic space outfits?
Oh gosh. That's hard just because what Zendaya did at the Dune premiere. However, 80s.
Oh, yeah?
80s is pretty dope. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the 80s myself.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Would you rather have to perform a dramatic monologue in front of a packed audience
Uh-huh.
while wearing a chicken suit or have a serious conversation with your director while speaking only in song lyrics?
You made this
Yes. I don't know where it comes from.
up? Having the conversation with my director. Yes.
In song
In
lyrics.
song lyrics, yes.
I won't make you practice. I'll be like, I'll just leave that out there for people to imagine.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I just wanted to like poke at you to see like what would you really rather?
That's
I
no,
always
but
ask
that's a
this
really great
one.
exercise. It got me thinking. You got
Yeah,
me thinking a few ones there. Yeah.
that's good.
Hmm.
So I have another one actually that I usually ask, which I wasn't going to ask you, but whatever. Would you
Okay.
rather babysit Bebe's kids or the Minions?
Babies, kids. They're more interesting. Yeah.
They are so much more.
They would
Oh, I
entertain
couldn't take
me.
those minions seriously. That I would want to kill one of them for
Yeah,
sure.
quickly.
They're way too troublesome.
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned battling imposter syndrome. I learned about this on your site
Yeah.
because you have a really beautiful blog that
Thank
I
you.
think people should go check out.
Thank you.
But you mentioned battling imposter syndrome and the fear of failure.
Yeah.
Can you share how you overcome that or how it's shaped your career?
How I overcome that really is doing things like this.
Okay.
Right? It's really doing the things that terrify me, that make me want to go into a corner and find shelter, and just putting myself in uncomfortable positions,
Facing the fear.
facing the fear. And I know it sounds very cliche, but I've truly had to do that. Even dancing
Mhm.
has been difficult to go back because once I left it, I left it. I completely focused into acting or on acting, and going back into the studio years later, I wasn't the same dancer that I used to be. Even picking up choreography was difficult at times, and that
Yeah.
really embarrassed me. And it made me just not want to go back because I'm like, why am I putting myself in that situation to feel those feelings?
Right.
So instead, I just completely removed myself. But then I'm now utilizing the gifts that God gave me. So that didn't make sense either. And so it was
Yeah.
that constant battle. And I
Yes.
just had to finally make that decision that it's going to feel what it's going to feel like. But this is also something that you claim to love. So if you're
Oh, I'm gonna
feeling,
write that one down.
yeah, right. And it helps me in my work, LA. I mean,
How?
everything in acting is improv. If you really think about it, you have to be grounded. You have to be in the moment. And if you have all these thoughts going through your mind because you're thinking about things that you shouldn't be thinking about, and anxiousness is coming, fear is coming, nervousness is coming, then you'll never be able to produce the type of work that you know you can and that you would want. And then you don't get to really show yourself in the best light because people are
Mm,
seeing this other version of you that you're not even proud of,
right.
right? It's like this
Oh
tainted
man.
version of you. And
Which is worse.
it's
That
worse because you can't, it's very hard to change that impression. It's very, very difficult to change that in
it's
their in their perception of you.
right.
So, and you have to be ready. You mentioned that before. We're in an industry where there's no excuses. You don't have space to make these type of mistakes,
Right.
right?
Oh man.
And you can. I mean, it happens. We're not
For
perfect,
sure.
but then you pay for that in time. They might
Oh,
give you another chance, but it'll take a little while until they get
yeah.
back to you.
It's so true. It's so
So
true. I'm constantly reinventing myself, trying to make people forget my mistakes.
no, it's a serious
It
thing.
was a growth period. Sorry.
Right. Exactly. And that
Yeah.
was the whole fear of failing is more failing in front of people that already have a perception of who you are because of the way you present yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Right. Because you want people to see you in a certain light. You work hard for them to see you in that certain light,
Yeah.
and then you do something counter to that light,
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
then people are like, "Wait, what?"
Where's that other girl
Right.
that you've been
Oh
showing
my
that's
God, I
been
think I
talking
talked
about?
about that
Yeah.
with my psychotherapist. I
Mm.
said, I'm afraid of people wanting from me something that I can't give them.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
the
That's
worst.
the worst thing. It's the
Yeah.
worst feeling.
But you know what? I think we think that people want more from us than we have to
Of
give,
course.
that they like who we are regardless,
Mm-hmm.
and that they'll accept what it is that we're offering. We
Yes,
just don't. We have to come to believe that, and
we do.
we can learn. To your point, we learn quickly.
Yes.
So we just need to have a little more exposure, maybe a little time,
Yeah.
a little practice,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do it.
We can do it. I think
Yeah.
we're hard on ourselves too because we just refuse to live in mediocrity,
This is the thing.
right?
We refuse to live in mediocrity.
Yeah.
I agree. We
Yeah.
have too much of that.
We have too much.
Um, can you discuss the role of faith? Because I heard you mention it before. How
Mm.
has it shaped and helped you maintain resilience and focus in your career?
Faith is everything to me. Faith has uplifted me. It has covered me. It has protected me. It has everything I do, everything I choose, even role wise. I pray about it first. I want to make sure that it's in line with my with the vision that I have for myself in my life, um, with my values, which is huge because I live with me at the end of the day. And believe it or not, I mean, I always, and not that I do this for my parents and my family, but
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I want them to be proud and they deserve that of me because they sacrificed and worked so much. And I'm blessed because I did not have parents who didn't support my dream.
Yeah.
They supported me every step of the way. So I'm I have them on my shoulders through
Yes.
everything that I do. And it means the world to me when they're able to look at what I've accomplished so far by God's grace and be also proud of the work that I've put out there and the way that I
Mhm.
represent our name.
I
That's
love that.
really important to me.
I love that.
To me.
You know how we can watch a TV show and then there's like this cliffhanger like, "No, what's going to happen?"
Mhm.
What is the cliffhanger that you're currently in your life?
Oh,
And are we
LA.
gonna wait? Are we gonna wait a long time to see what happens? Is this to be continued like years, or is this right around the corner?
I don't know. Some things will be right around the corner.
I love that.
And then some things will maybe be like in a year or two.
Oh, so you're writing this. You know what's
Yeah,
coming.
there's a few things. I mean, we don't know everything, but there's a few things that yes, I have,
Anything
in
that
my
you'd like
back
to
pocket.
share?
Pardon me? What'd you say?
Anything you'd like to share?
No, not yet.
Girl, keep it to yourself. You know what? Because I heard too. I've been
I
listening
move
to
in
Abraham.
silence. I move in silence. That's another
Girl,
thing
it's
about me.
important because I
Yeah.
was listening to Abraham Hicks and she talks a lot about, keep it inside because
Always.
when you say it outwards,
Mm-hmm.
somebody might help you lose it in the way that
Mm-hmm.
they talk about it or think about it. So not
Absolutely.
everything needs to be exposed.
No, no. I'm
I
a
love
big
that.
believer in that. And you know
Oh,
that. I think you know that much
yes.
about me. I'm actually very private.
100.
Yes.
100.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're close to the very end of our little conversation,
Oh.
but I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions to end us off here.
Okay. Okay. Another one.
Okay, here we go. Here
This is
we
good
go.
practice. Okay.
Let me just stretch. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Oh my God. Eating food.
Ooh, what's your
Good meal.
favorite food? What would
Eat.
you grab for?
Oh my God. Sweets. I'm a sweet girl. So I
Me
love
too.
candy, ice cream. Yeah.
Oh, ice
Yeah.
cream.
Ice cream is really good.
Describe your perfect day off.
Oh my God. Sleeping in,
Oh, yes.
working out, reading a good book,
Hmm.
watching a good movie, listening to a good podcast, and a sermon.
I do the same thing.
Right? A little bit of online shopping, and having a dance party at the house.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
What's one piece of advice you give to someone just starting out in the arts?
Mm.
So hard. There's so much to tell
There's so
someone.
much, but
Just sign up at our website.
just realize that A, it's something that you really, really want to do, but more than that, understand that it's going to force you to dig, to do the work and really look within yourself. So start
Okay.
doing that work from the beginning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Name a role or project you're particularly proud of.
Mm. Oh my gosh. Um, I'm proud of all of them. Uh,
What?
I know, surprisingly, but um,
Well, let me tell you about a role I really liked on your IG. You did
okay.
the Claire Huxtable. I mean, it wasn't your role, but you did
Oh
this
my
whole
gosh, guys.
cleanse. That Claire Huxtable thing, did that thing not go viral? You were phenomenal.
I don't think it went viral, but it was fun.
Listen, it's
It
going to
did
go
really
viral because I'm
well.
going to plop that right here.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Huxtable. I didn't think you did that kind of thing.
What kind of thing?
You know, serve.
Serve whom?
Serve him.
Oh, serve him! As in serve your man?
Well, yeah.
Let me tell you something, Elvis. You see, I am not serving Dr. Huxtable, okay?
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that goes on in a restaurant. Now, I'm going to bring him a cup of coffee just like he brought me a cup of coffee this morning. And that, young man, is what marriage is made of. It is give and take 50-50. And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never going to have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever. Now, what would you like in your coffee?
Maybe I could get you some coffee.
No,
That
it
thing
was
is
lots of fun.
amazing.
It was lots of
Yeah.
fun.
Oh my God, you have such diverse looks. I just love it.
Thank
You
you.
have a favorite fashion designer?
You know what? Not yet. Not a favorite one. Right now I'm really loving African designers. I have
Mm-hmm.
one not even one in particular. I just feel like they're really stretching themselves artistically, and they're coming up
Yeah.
with really intriguing designs. And oh my god, I even feel so bad. There's a Haitian designer too that I really like. And I can't remember her name right now.
Okay, we'll put them in the show notes,
We'll put
girl.
the
Let
show
us
notes.
know.
Okay,
We'll put them in
okay,
the show
yeah,
notes.
yeah.
And lastly, well,
And
not
Cal
lastly.
Javasi, let me just say this. Cal Javasi, I wear a lot of, and we've been wearing him lately, and
Okay.
it's divine. St.
You looked
Lucia's
amazing
designer.
at Afrofest. I don't know
Thank you.
who
That
put
was
that to
Cal
you.
Javasi. That was Cal
Wow.
Javasi. Yes.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yes. He's
Hook a girl up.
fantastic.
I have the Pan African Film Festival coming up.
Oh,
I
call
need,
him. Yes. Yes. I will
yeah,
hook the
I'll
two of
get
you
you,
up.
I'll get his number.
Yes.
What do you thirst for in life?
mm, joy.
Yeah.
I would have said happiness before, but happiness is
So fleeting.
it's a moment. So really like true joy.
I like that.
Yeah, and being present in every moment. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Lastly, what's currently blocking you, and what is your commitment that you can make right now to yourself to get unblocked?
I did it. I'm on your show.
Okay, we fulfilled dreams here.
Yes. 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 I'm one step closer.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
Mm.
Sajin, thank you so much for spending time with us here in
Thank
the Writer's
you
Block
for having
podcast.
me so much.
You
It was so much
And
fun.
I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank
really, really proud
you.
of you for the growth that I see,
Thank
for the way that you're stepping out boldly, for the friendships that you're maintaining that fulfill your soul. I
you.
see that. I see
Mm.
you.
Oh,
And
thank you. That means a lot.
yeah, you show up for people the best way that you can. And that is, something to aspire to, because in this career, no, in the career, for people who want to do it, they don't you're doing the work.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to see the trajectory, because you've done a lot of work. People may not even realize a lot of the things that you've been a part of.
Hmm.
But so just go to her IMDb and you'll check out,
You'll see everything there. I like it like that though. I like
in
it
a
just to pop
way.
up.
Well, you did say you like to be quiet and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what? The vulnerability that you did share, the wisdom and insights, it's much appreciated here. I
Thank,
hope it unblocks all of you out there. Thanks for watching.
thank you.
Thank you to the listeners. Thank you to our sponsors, TRF Media. Big up yourself, Mello,
Yes.
producer
Thank you,
extraordinaire.
Mello.
Big up yourself. And
And
if
thank you.
you're interested,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry. Thank you so much for creating this platform. You are
Oh,
incredible.
thank you so
Since
much.
I've met you, you have just continuously come up with different things, different projects, and you continuously, like, you just follow through with every idea that you have, and you're very inspiring. So thank you so much. Thank
Thank you so much for saying that. I think that's how I get unblocked. I just keep
you.
pushing forward.
Pushing
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for
Speaking of
interrupting you.
that's okay. Speaking of new projects, I have a wine bottle called Thirsty AF, courtesy of CH Hot and Wines.
You see,
If you're interested in, if
you
you're
see what I
interested in
mean?
checking that out, I'll send you a bottle.
Please, yes.
Yes, it's thisisLAWade.com. You can figure it all out there. And you know what? If you want to reach your girl on IG, I am at This Is LA Wade Inc. Or for more creative inspiration, go to the writersblock.podcast. And how do they reach you, Sagine?
I put my link down there too. It's at Sagine Sémajuste.
I love
All
it.
one
Don't you love
word.
how she says that? Keep writing, keep creating, and
Thank
get unblocked. See you
you.
later.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye. Thanks for having
Bye.
me.
You're listening to the Writer's Block Podcast with LA Wade.
Hi, my name is Sagine Sémajuste, and I am a TV, film, and voice actor, as well as dancer, writer, all-around storyteller. And listen, guys, I have just gotten unblocked today on the Writer's Block podcast.